There is a moment every man feels but never wants to admit, that second when the woman he loves looks at him with eyes that don't admire him anymore. She used to listen when he spoke, now she interrupts. She used to touch him softly, now she barely looks up from her phone. She used to look, proud standing next to him, now she acts like she's doing him a favor by staying. That's the moment when everything changes, because when a woman stops respecting you, it doesn't happen overnight. It dies slowly with every sarcastic comment, every eye roll, every time she talks to you like you're beneath her. And when that happens, love can't save it, because love can survive distance, stress, and even betrayal, but it never survives disrespect. Welcome back, guys, to Matryoshka Tips. I'm Anastasia, and today we're talking about something that every man needs to understand, that when she stops respecting you, love doesn't matter anymore. But before we start, if you want to go deeper into understanding Eastern European women, how they think, what they value, how to connect with them online, and what makes them different, I share exclusive videos and one-on-one advice on my Patreon, where, I personally chat with men who want real relationships with traditional women. You will find the link below. Now, a man can put up with a lot. He can handle mood swings, stress, bad days, but what he can survive is a woman who looks at him with contempt. Once she stops seeing him as a man she respects, everything that used to hold, that relationship together starts to fade. He might still love her, still want to make it work, but something inside him slowly shuts down. Respect is oxygen for a man. You can live without affection for a while, you can live, through fights, even through distance, but without respect, you suffocate. And what many women don't realize is that men don't leave because they stop loving. They leave because they are tired of feeling small in their own relationship. When a woman rolls her eyes when he speaks, for example, mocks him in front of others, dismisses his opinions like they mean nothing, she's not just being emotional. She's cutting the bond that made him feel safe to love her. Love without respect becomes humiliation, and humiliation kills affection faster than anything else. And the problem here is a lot of men don't even notice, this erosion happening. They make excuses for her attitude. They tell themselves she's stressed, or that maybe he's not doing enough. He tries harder, gives more, apologizes for things he didn't do, thinking it will bring the peace back. But every time he does that without her meeting him halfway, he loses a little more of himself. When a man gives and gives without receiving appreciation, it doesn't make her respect him more. It makes her respect him less. Because women don't admire what they can control. They admire what they can rely on. There's the difference. A woman feels safe when a man has his own standards, when he can say no, when he doesn't accept disrespect disguised as emotions. The moment she realizes that she can yell, belittle, ignore, or manipulate him without consequences, her attraction fades. And not because she's evil, but because that's how human nature works. People don't value what's too available, because respect requires boundaries. And you can love someone deeply, but if they keep crossing lines, love becomes like resentment. She might say, I still love you, but if she doesn't listen to you, doesn't support your direction, or constantly undetermines you, what she feels isn't love anymore, it's control. A woman who respects her man doesn't have to agree with everything he says, no, but she shows that she values him. She listens, she might challenge him, but not mock him. She can disagree, but not humiliate. And when that balance disappears, when every talk turns into sarcasm or cold silence, that's when a man starts emotionally checking out. And many relationships don't end because of cheating or arguments. They end because of quiet disrespect that builds up over time. And it starts small. A comment here, a joke there, ignoring what you said, comparing you to someone else, questioning every decision you make, and you start feeling like nothing you do is enough. You start doubting yourself, you lose your edge, and when you lose that, she senses it too, because she's no longer feels the man she fell for. She feels someone trying too hard to please her, and that kills attraction faster than, anger ever could. And what's interesting? Men are often told that love is all about patience, understanding, and forgiveness. But what they are not told is that being endlessly patient with someone who disrespects you only teaches them that they can keep doing it. A woman can still say she loves you and still disrespect you. The two are not mutually exclusive. That's why love isn't enough. Without respect, it becomes pity, manipulation, dependence. Real love is built on admiration. When a woman looks at her man and feels proud of who he is, that's when she stays soft, caring, and feminine. But once she starts seeing him as weak or desperate for her validation, her tone changes, and the warmth turns into irritation, the connection turns into competition. And here's actually what's tragic. Most men don't react at first. They think staying calm and loving through her, bad behavior will earn her back. But the truth is, every time you ignore disrespect to keep the peace, you're silently telling her that your dignity is negotiable. And the more she senses that, the less she will respect you. The balance in the relationship breaks, basically, because she can't feel admiration for a man who doesn't stand up for himself. Women might test you emotionally, that's normal. But they don't want a man who, fails every test. They want someone they can look up to, someone who knows his worth. And that's why so many men say things like, I still love her, but I can't do this anymore. Well, because it's not about falling out of love. It's about realizing that no love can survive when you constantly feel emasculated. Love can survive stress, distance, even conflict, but not contempt. Once respect is gone, it takes everything with it. Intimacy, attraction, safety, trust. Without respect, even the smallest argument feels like war. You stop feeling like partners and start feeling like, enemies trapped under the same roof. And there is also something important men need to understand. Respect isn't demanded, it's earned and maintained. But that doesn't mean you have to beg for it. It means you have to carry yourself in a way that commands it. That's why the moment you sense that a woman is beginning to disrespect you, through tone, words, behavior, you have to address it immediately. Not by shouting, not by punishing her, but by calmly, making it clear what you will and won't tolerate. If she cares about you, she will adjust. If she doesn't, she will get defensive or push back. Either way, you will know what kind of woman you are dealing with, believe me. And there is nothing more painful than loving someone who doesn't respect you anymore. I understand that. You try to reason with her, to remind her of how things used to be, but it never works. Because respect isn't something you can negotiate. Once a woman loses it, it rarely comes back. Unless she sees that you're willing to walk away. That's when she realizes she's not dealing with a man she can control, but a man who values himself more than her approval. And ironically, actually, that's when she might start respecting you again, because she sees that, you're not afraid to lose her. And it's never about being dominant or controlling her. It's about showing her that you have self-respect, that you're not her project, you're her partner. And when you hold that frame, she feels it. She may push against it at times, but deep down, that's what makes her feel safe with you. A woman can love a man, for his kindness, but she will only respect him for his strength. And when she respects him, she naturally becomes more loving, more feminine, more caring. Now, some men make the mistake of thinking that being respected means being cold, distant, or emotionless. It doesn't, guys. Respect comes from consistency, from doing what you say, from having direction, from showing emotional control when things go wrong. It's about standing, tall even when you're hurt. Well, not lashing out or begging for attention. It's like you being calm enough to walk away from drama and strong enough to protect your peace. That's what earns lasting respect. And let me actually tell you guys, if you're in a relationship right now where you feel unheard, dismissed, or constantly battlefield, take a step back and look at what's really happening. Are you staying because you still love her or because you're afraid of losing her? Because love that survives without respect turns into dependency. And no man should ever have to beg for respect from the woman he gives his heart to. A good woman will never make you feel small. She will challenge you, yes, but she will never try to humiliate you. And there is a difference between accountability and cruelty. And when you learn to tell the difference, believe me, your relationships change completely. So if you ever find yourself thinking, maybe I'm asking for too much, well, remember this. Respect is not too much. It's bare minimum. And if she can't give you that, it doesn't matter how much history you share, how much you love her, or how good the moment used to be. Because love without respect is just emotional noise. A woman can say she loves you and still treat you like you're not worth listening to. Don't fall for words. Watch behavior. Words can lie, tone never does. And at the end of the day, love is supposed to make you stronger, not weaker. If you have to shrink yourself just to keep her happy, that's not love, that's control. The moment she stops respecting you, the relationship stops growing, because a woman who respects her man builds with him. A woman who doesn't will destroy everything piece by piece while saying I love you. That's why when respect disappears, love doesn't matter anymore. Thank you guys. This is Anastasia and Matryoshka Tips. See you in the next one. Bye. It's 5 o'clock. Time to drink some cup of tea. Where is my milk?